So let me start with the good news. The good news today, in a joint press conference called by Canada Border Services, Quebec, and Ontario Police, it was revealed that more than 500, so let's be accurate, 598 stolen vehicles were recovered here in Montreal at our port. That's the announcement made this morning. 430, I think, of those cars actually had been stolen in and around the Toronto area. But hey, that's a pretty good haul. Almost 600 cars recovered, representing about $34 million worth of value. So there's the good news. The more concerning news, perhaps, and I'm not sort of, making light of the fact that, car theft is still a humongous issue here in this country, not just in Quebec. You may have heard the story. There was actually one on the news. I saw this on CTV last night. A couple here about to head to Cancun for vacation, parked their car at the Sheraton Airport in a secure private parking lot with a fence, come back home, discover their car's gone. So it's still happening far too often. And to that end, it was a little strange to hear this week from, of all places, Burlington, Vermont, that authorities there are letting you know, or letting American drivers know who've come to Montreal from Vermont, that there may be trackers on their car, like those Apple AirTag devices, which basically let whoever has that device know where that car is. So we thought we'd try to find a little bit more. We go to the phone. I believe this is Ryan McLiverty. Ryan, are you there?
I am, yes.
Ryan, you're a cyber intelligence analyst with the Vermont Intelligence Center, which, by the way, is a great sounding name for an organization. I should point that out. Can you explain why you think this is going on and what the warning here is about?
Yeah, so the indications that we got from law enforcement, both on the U.S. side of the border and on the Canada side, is that this activity is most likely connected to one of two things. One would be international car theft rings, as you described, with cars being shipped out of the port of Montreal and air tags being placed on vehicles to identify them to later be stolen. Or it could also be to move small amounts of drugs or cash and even firearms back and forth across the border.
Okay, so again, if that's the case, these are drivers who drive from Vermont, cross the Canadian border, and then come back into Vermont. So those air tags are placed in Montreal. Is this something relatively new? I'd not heard of this before, this being a concern or an issue.
This type of activity has been going on for a little while, but the use of air tags in particular is a little bit newer of a tactic. And just recently in Vermont, we've seen a slight increase in the number of cases that have been reported to law enforcement.
So what should people be aware of? What do you have to look for? How do you find these things? How would you know if there's one on your car?
So most people actually have been identifying them through alerts on their phone. So in particular, if you have an iPhone and there's an Apple AirTag that's being used to track your vehicle, when that AirTag is within close enough proximity of you and your device for a long enough period of time, your iPhone will actually give you an alert that there's an AirTag near you, that it is detected. And that's how most people are discovering these. Most of them have also been placed on the front of people's cars, in the grill and under the windshield wiper, places like that. So that's kind of a quick, easy place for people to check as well. So
let's say you're one of those people, as you described, you get that alert. What's the recommendation here? Immediately call police or do what?
Yeah, the recommendation would definitely be to notify law enforcement and to just hold on to that device, don't dispose of it, because the data can be useful to law enforcement in their investigation.
Meaning it can be tracked to whoever put that on your car? Is that what you're suggesting?
Potentially, yeah.
So do not throw it away.
Do not throw it away, no.
Okay. I had a crazy idea. I wonder if you found one of these AirTags, which the odd part of this, of course, is AirTags are a great thing to have. They prevent you from losing things, and now we're finding out they can be used by, organized crime, in this particular case, to locate cars. Could you, if you found that AirTag, right, on your car, for example, can you reprogram that so it becomes yours?
That's a good question. I'm not sure exactly how they would work in terms of reprogramming it. Most of them have individual identifiers on the AirTags built into them, so it would be apparent as to where that device was particularly sold and who to.
Okay. I just thought, you're kind of handy. You find one. If there was some way to disable it, you said don't throw them away. Imagine you could disable it and then just reprogram it and you have your own AirTag, which basically someone just gave to you. Then again, maybe they could try to find you. I'm a little ahead of the story. How many cases of this have there been, by the way? Is there a rash of these reports?
So we had 3 reported to us just within one day in Vermont, and we have requested from law enforcement in Vermont to continue reporting these to us as they come in. So we're thinking that we will be seeing more and more as the weeks go on.
Okay. And again, we should mention this is from Vermont into Canada. I don't know what the deal is the other way around. I imagine that could be an issue as well, right? Cars that are tagged here going into the U.S. Okay.
Yep. It could go both ways for sure.
All right. Ryan, thanks so much. Appreciate the time.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Okay, there you go. Ryan McLiverty, as I said, kind of a cool name, the Vermont Intelligence Center. So just be aware, if you've used one of these AirTags, and I know a lot of people use them to travel, right? You put them in your luggage, and then if your luggage doesn't show up, you get an idea roughly where it is. The AirTag will alert you and give you a rough idea of where it is, now being used for criminal reasons. But just be aware that if you have an iPhone and it does set off an alarm and you don't have an AirTag, there's reason there to be concerned. And obviously, as he said, notify law enforcement and get that taken care of, because you don't want people to know where your car is, whether it's to, put drugs on your car, in your car, to steal your car. Just be aware of that, right? You'll get a notification that there is an AirTag. There's some kind of tracking device on your car.